Hello and welcome back to another We Ourselves video. And today I just want to do a short video about a Gizmodo article about the new Battlestar Galactica reboot. And as we see here at headline, the new Battlestar Galactica reboot gets a promising update. In the subheading, the Sam Esmail produced Peacock show gained a new showrunner and center creator Derek Simonds. And so I just want to read a little bit about this. News of Mr. Robot creator Sam Esmail developing a new version of Battlestar Galactica broke almost 5 years ago. In that time, there haven't been many updates, but now, finally, there's a huge one, and we're hoping this is the news that pushes the project into reality. Deadline reports that the show, which is being developed for Peacock, will now be written, executive produced, and showrun by Derek Simonds. He created the 2017 USA show The Center, starring Bill Pullman, and produced that same year's Call Me By Your Name. He's taken over from Michael Leslie, who was announced on the project in May 2020. And I just want to say here that if you've never seen the original series The Center, it was originally on USA, but now all 4 seasons are streaming on Netflix. Go and check it out if you haven't done so, because it's a really good show. Bill Pullman does a good job. Esmail remains on as an executive producer, so it seems like a good bet that what he originally said back in 2019 still holds true. At the time, Esmail said this version of Battlestar Galactica is not going to be a remake of the masterful 2004 series or even the campy, delightful 1978 original. Instead, this will be a new story within the mythology. Or at least that was the case almost 5 years ago. Maybe Simonds has a different take. Because, let's face it, what's Battlestar Galactica without the good old ship Battlestar Galactica, the last place where humanity survives in a galactic war with the evil Cylons? We'll continue to keep you updated on any and all BSG happenings this year, next year, or even if it takes 5 more years for another update. Okay, and that's the simple story. And the reason I want to talk about this, because I've already done maybe 1 or 2 videos. I know I did one video in particular which talked about the 2004 series, in which that showrunner, Ronald Moore, decided to overhumanize the series and to the detriment of the mythos that was actually in there, until the studio itself had to come in and tell them, you got to get it together or the show is going to be canceled after 2 years. And so they had to go back and re-emphasize the mythology of the world and do a revamp and a reset. But I have to say here that I hope this new person, this new showrunner, Derek Simonds, doesn't follow Esmail's lead. Because as the article says, how can you have a Battlestar Galactica without the Battlestar Galactica? Once again, we have people coming in and they're taking the original setup, the ingredients and the elements that make an original genre piece, and they're taking it out. First of all, like I said, I like the original 2004 series. I liked the original campy 1978 version, but we've been here before. We've already had an original series, quote unquote, that was done within the mythology of the Battlestar Galactica universe. It was called Caprica. And I've mentioned that before in my previous video, where Caprica, it was supposed to be a prequel to Battlestar Galactica, but it was canceled after 1 year. So we've been here before in terms of doing stories within the mythology. We've also had standalone movies that were more directly related to the 2004 series, and that was The Plan, which, by the way, was directed by the main actor, Edward James Olmos. We had Razor, which I thought was a very good standalone BSG movie. Again, did not focus on Battlestar Galactica. Instead, it followed the story of a totally new character who was on board the Pegasus under Admiral Kane, who we see during the regular series. To me, that was one of the best standalones. And then you had Blood and Chrome, which I believe was actually a wannabe show pilot. I think they were trying to go with a younger William Adama, who's, again, played by Edward James Olmos. I think they were trying to introduce a younger version of him, and this was their sneaky way of trying to test out a pilot show. Of all the standalone BSG movies, I think that one did the worst. So it's interesting that we have this article, because we've been in this space before. Even though I had my issues with Ronald D. Moore's Reboot in 2004, at least it was a reboot of the original property. You brought in new characters to play the iconic characters. Trying to set up a show that's in the same mythology, it just doesn't work. without a Battlestar Galactica. We've done that with Caprica and it did not work. So I'm hoping that they go with a legitimate reboot and they don't try to go into the world of Battlestar Galactica. Because what are you going to do? Either you go with a prequel that happens before the fall of humanity to the Cylons, or you go with one after and you're just following some stragglers or some survivors who's trying to avoid the Cylon patrols. We had that within the show itself, and that works, but it only works in a connection to it being connected to the Battlestar Galactica. You have a whole show of rebels or whatever that are running around and trying to avoid the Cylons. Again, they're going to go with this over-humanization of the original concept, and none of that has ever worked. It did not work for Ronald D. Moore because the studios themselves came in and said, you need to put the mythos back in there, and they had to do a reset going into the third season of the 2004 series. We had Caprica, again, Ronald D. Moore, which really focused in on the human drama, and that was canceled after 1 year, and you've had the standalone movies. So no, my thing is do a actual reboot, be faithful to the original mythology, and you have to have a Battlestar Galactica in there. If you don't want to do a story about the Battlestar Galactica, then go and do a different project. And I'm almost glad it's taken them as long as it is because I think their approach is going to be a failure. Maybe the studio hasn't signed off on it because they've already tried it with Caprica. Once again, we have people that are coming in and they're trying to get rid of the elements that made the original franchise and product what it was. If you're going to do that, you might as well go off and do something else. You know, kind of like what Zack Snyder did with Rebel Moon, and we see how well that worked. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. As always, like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video.